Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm here with Adair.
What's up?
This guy's awesome. We're gonna use our mic today because it's I don't know, bad mic.
Windy.
It's windy. Something.
It's windy.
I don't know
We're outside.
Yeah.
It's windy.
Yeah, we're in Los Angeles, California.
Yeah,
this
we are.
guy's Canadian. Are you from Canada?
I'm born and raised
Awesome.
in Canada.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
All right, so I just have to say, like, I'm really excited that I'm finally meeting Cam. Like, I've known him for the past few months because we both talk about video game addiction. And it's cool to see you in person, man.
You look just the same as you do online.
You do, man.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Okay, so in this video, I thought what would be cool is if we kind of talk about how our bad habits affects our confidence.
Yeah.
I think I guess we could talk about our bad habits, and I'll mostly just ask you questions and you can answer it, I guess.
Bring it on.
All right, and then I'll chime in whenever if you want to ask me questions too.
Perfect.
So first of all, I want to ask, like, what are some of the bad habits you had growing up, and how did that affect your confidence?
Yeah.
Or your self-worth?
So I think growing up, it's interesting to think about bad habits because that would imply that I had any habits. And I don't think that growing up I was actually very conscious or aware of my behavior at all. I was just kind of living on autopilot. And so, you know, I had bad habits where, like, my diet, horrible. Like, my diet was beyond horrible.
Yeah.
I never did my homework. I played video games basically all day long, any free time I had. And I didn't have any awareness. And so if you want to switch bad habits to good habits, you have to have awareness of what those habits are in the first place. And so I think the bad habits I had hurt my confidence because they weren't things that I was actually proud of.
Okay.
And so if I come home and I just game all day,
Yeah.
well, I'm not really gonna walk up to a girl and be like, hey, you want to come hang out with me and, like, we'll just play video games all day? Like, it's hard to be confident in that.
Yeah.
If I don't actually have something I'm confident in myself for.
Got
Right?
it.
So there was a period of time where I was actually a really confident guy because I played hockey and we were, like, in Canada, we're like,
that's like the football.
it's like the football, right? and so we were like the stars of school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had a ton of confidence back then.
Wow.
But that changed when I was no longer playing hockey, right? And so I think my bad habits made me not feel proud of myself, which then made me not feel confident.
Wow. Okay, so one thing I heard was hockey made you have confidence. And I want to say the confidence really came from like people giving you approval, like, hey, oh dude, that's so cool, you play hockey, or like you're a cool person because you play hockey.
Right.
Well, if you play video games, you're maybe not as cool, not as attractive.
That would be
to...
a stereotype.
Right. And I think this is a perfect conversation to have right now, just switching topics, because that's important, like especially in growing up in middle school, high school, there's a lot of judging going on. Like, oh, you're doing that, what are stuff people do that are bad? For me, like, when I was in high school, in my circle, if you did drugs, that was, like, not cool. Or, like, if you did
my circle was totally different. Yeah.
I hung out with the goody two shoes,
right?
And none of us drank, none of us did any of that stuff. So that was frowned upon. Video games was frowned upon too. Hockey, we didn't have hockey. We had field hockey for the females. But essentially, wow. So what do you? Okay, I'm just gonna throw it out there because I'm circling around. So, video games versus playing hockey in this situation, like which one? Which one and why?
Which one?
Which one should you choose? Which one would you choose, and why? If you were to put yourself back in your high school days or whatever.
Yeah, no, I think hockey was something much more fulfilling for me. I think video games. So I don't believe in the stereotype of gamers are, like, stupid or wasting their potential or anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe that. I think that's like a social stigma that causes more people to game and causes a lot of disconnection. For me, hockey was like the love of my life. And it was something I had a ton of fulfillment in.
Yeah.
whereas games were just a way for me to escape dealing with my problems.
Okay, so now I want to flip the question. What if games was the love of your life, and hockey gave you, well, it wasn't. Let's just say, because a lot of people out there, like, they love video games,
Right.
and they love it. So what do you have to say about that?
So the difference for me
Yeah.
is, I think there's a distinction that you need to make where a lot of people think
Yeah.
that they love games.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, there's a percentage of people who game that, or anyone who games, they do like games to a point.
Yeah.
But I also think it's important to understand how your brain likes games
Okay.
and how games, because of the way that they're designed and
Yeah.
how they become such a routine and such a habit, that they can become like a numbing mechanism.
Yeah.
So they're a way, if you're depressed, they're
Yeah.
a way to escape that. Or your brain loves the stimulation in games, but you think that it's passion when it's really just your brain is accustomed to that level of
Got it.
stimulation.
Yeah.
So it depends on whether or not it's having a positive or negative
Yeah.
impact on your life,
Yeah.
right? And hockey for me was having a really positive impact.
Yeah.
Games, not so much,
Yeah.
right? If it was flipped, then I think that's something to pay attention to.
Yeah. Sounds good. I think, I mean, anything, even hockey could be considered addiction too.
Right. If it was having a negative impact.
Right. And I think that's where each one of us gets to figure out for ourselves, is what we're doing right now having a positive or negative impact in our lives.
Right.
Video games, we're going to talk about that a lot because that's what you specialize in. And I've also, we've both gone through video game addiction and have like this dependency on it to either like escape our life or kind of just distract ourselves from something else going on.
And you could substitute gaming for the average adult watches 6 hours of TV a day. So
Still?
that's still it's
Still?
2015
Not,
and that
not
still
even
happens.
Netflix and chill?
That still happens, right? So you could substitute gaming, you could substitute it for porn, for watching TV, for sex, for food, for alcohol, for drugs, for mobile games. Like, we all have these ways, these vices, right? These ways that we escape and we numb ourselves. And what I believe is it's actually about developing awareness of what we truly want, like what we actually want for our life, how we want to feel, what we want our life to look like, and then identify, what's actually helping that and what's not. And becoming more aware of that and more aware of the ways that we're trying to escape away from it.
All right, so now my question is, how can we actually determine what we want in our lives?
Yeah, that's like $1 million question. I think the first thing is that if you approach that question from a place of you have to know the full answer, you'll never know, because you'll never know the full answer. Because it's like thinking that you have one single purpose in life. If you think that and you don't know it, then you get all frustrated because you're like, I don't know it. When purpose evolves, what I thought my purpose was 5 years ago compared to today, it's evolved over time. So the clarity that you get from what you want in life, that changes over time. And you have to be okay with that wave. You have to ride that wave and allow it to expand. So as you try new things and you get more clear on certain things that you like, it evolves, you get clear on what you want, and then you have to be okay if it changes. Because if you think it's just going to be one thing and you don't know it, well, then you're just going to be frustrated. And frustration is the opposite of you getting more clear on what you want.
I'm just going to add on top of that and almost like clarify. And I think I agree with you on that. I think our purpose or our mission, we get to keep it open to changing, because I'll agree with that for myself. My vision and my mission has been changing a lot. Just recently I sat down with Javon, friend of ours, my mentor, and I clarified my mission right now, which is to create content and conversations for teens and young adults to break through their self-worth conversations. Like that's a really clear mission I have right now. However, it's never been like that, and in this moment I also get to leave it open that it can change.
Yeah. Exactly. It'll
So-
evolve.
All right.
Right.
So I want to throw this back onto all of you. With that. You. Yeah. So if you are, I'm just gonna like make it a little brighter because the sun is setting. Oh, look at that. Oh wow, you can see the city lights now. How cool.
It's chilly out here.
It is a little chilly out here. So where are we at? Okay, that video's gonna shut off soon. if you were someone who's trying to find your mission, I guess I would say I want to know what you would say. If you're looking for your mission or your purpose, keep looking for it. Keep looking at doing things that you enjoy. Don't be frustrated if you can't find it, because it's part of the journey to find it.
Yeah.
And just know that it will eventually come the more you live your life. Yeah.
So part of how I approach this is first try new things, a lot of new things. When you try new things, make sure you pay attention to what you liked about it. Now try and think more about, for example, when I spoke at TEDx, it wasn't just speaking on stage that I liked, but I also liked writing the speech. I liked practicing the speech. That was all stuff that was actually really important for me to pay attention to. I also love to travel, and I love to travel to be in new places and new experiences. And so speaking and traveling seem to go together.
Yeah.
So now I'm starting to try and create more of that in my life. The other thing is that I think starting projects is a really good way to find more purpose. Because when you have a project, you're not just going to a salsa class and trying out salsa.
Yeah.
When you have a project, you're like going to dance, you have to practice, and that gives you more structure, more sense of purpose.
Yeah.
In that, you can grow in a project, and I think projects are like one of the best ways to find more sense of purpose and just start improving your life. So do projects.
Projects have goals, like have something to
Yeah.
go aim towards, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then once you reach that point, let it go forward, right? Like if you have just, I want to improve my programming. Well, that's great, but then there's gonna be days where you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have a goal of, I want to build this app, well, now you have a reason to work on your programming skills, right? And so projects, I just find, are one of the best ways. For me, I started learning how to DJ and I launched a podcast. So every single month I was accountable to learning how to do a podcast, learning how to put together a mix, learning the art, all of it. And doing that over and over and over again gave me a reason to DJ. Instead of just like, am I in the mood to DJ today? Maybe not, right?
All right, so that was a lot.
That was a lot.
That was
we
a lot.
went all over the place.
Let's see. How would you summarize that? Summarize that point. I'm working on it myself.
Do things that you're proud of.
Yeah.
Recognize yourself for doing things that you're proud of.
Yeah.
Launch projects that are based around goals or skills you want to learn. Keep watching Richard's videos. Make sure you hit subscribe. Check out my channel, Game Quitters.
I'll link that right here. There.
And that's the best I can do.
Awesome. Thanks so much, man. Yeah.
Dude, good to
High
see you,
five.
man.
Good stuff. All right, guys, see you. Hey, how's it going? It's Richard Kuo. So today we're going to talk about how to overcome video game addiction. So I received a question from Well F Man on YouTube, and he asks, Mr. Kuo, do you have a video about how you quit video game addiction? I really need help. I used to be very active in my studies, basketball, family, church,